how do I? Oh, okay. How do I move the? Okay, move the chat. I want to pop this out. I think I have to come out of this. Pop out. Yeah, I got this. Yep. There we are. FAQ. What do I have here? Project. And what do we have? We had one more. EXP log. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we can have this like this and see how it goes. Okay, cool. So let's start. So where were we? We were in the sign-in model. We integrated keychain items. So delete status, everything. Only thing is now pending is we need to test this out. Okay, a little bit. So if we decode this response into sign-in response, we are directly storing it into user auth creds, converting here. Okay, so if we sign in right now, so as of now 1 hour, so it should be some 3600, no, 3600 seconds. So that's what sec item add, and I don't have to do anything after this. So I need to see if it throws error. So let's just debug through it. And see how it goes. Okay, so yeah, user auth creds, this is done. So we don't have to do anything because fetch, if it gives auth creds, then okay, what happened to my internet? Okay, this is going fine. Did I lose my connection? No, it's going great. Okay, so now XPC connection interrupted. Does this run via XPC connection? Yeah, because simulator is a different process and Xcode is an entirely different process. Okay, now we have this. I need to correct this. I don't know how to correct the keychain, keyboard thing. It starts with caps. I don't want caps, so there must be some way in. For the login view, username. Okay, so there is this error. What is the status? So let's come here. What is status? Attribute does not exist. Okay, so that's a problem here. We haven't handled Okay, specified attribute does not exist. Which attribute? Is it a generic? Is it an account attribute? So it doesn't mention which attribute. I think it is the expiry date one. Let's see. Or it's the bundle ID, user creds dot bundle ID, because it's a static one. So we may need to give it like this. So invalid report to admin. Okay, so that's fine. Unhandled error. So we got the user credentials, but thing is, okay, let's just run it once again to see whether we are making any mistake now. Yeah, it still says I'm not sure which key though, because this is not printing the key. It doesn't say which key. Does it? OS status. No, I think it's from here we need to say OS status. Security key codes secbase.h. Secbase.h. Okay, I think here we have couple of things. Let's see, what is the error code we are getting? 25303. Yeah. Okay, error no such attribute. Okay, what's the attribute? Okay, let's do one thing. Let's go here, sec item, add keychain items. Use keychain to manage secure keychain items. Sec keychain, adding password, and we have item. So what do attribute is not, class is there, so class is fine, so we are messing up with the attribute. So let's check whether specific attributes are there or not. Copy, account attribute is there, password attribute keys, general attribute keys. So this is not general, we are going through password attributes. So this is there, this is fine. Generic, it's there. Server, it's there. Value data is not there. Okay, what do you add? Value indicates items authentication scheme. Port, string indicating the item's path attribute. Okay, we have to store the token in generic, but then where do we store the expiry key? So expiry goes into the user defaults, but then everything won't be So this is the problem I was expecting. So where is value data? Value data itself is not there. So where did we get value data? So value data, we got it here, but why is value data not there, since Apple has given it in their example? This is a legit Apple doc. They say for class internet password, so that's what we are having. You can have account and server and value data. So is that if I put generic cannot have value data, I have to have token in the this one. There is no other option for me not to have token in the keychain. So this is the main reason, token is the main reason I want to store everything in the keychain. So now either I can use keyed archiver and encrypt the whole user and add it to generic, but then let's try this. I have, since it is, since Apple had given that, I doubt it's not the case. I think either this or this should be the problem. Let's give it a try. One more try. Okay. Yeah. So it has to be either generic or the value data. Okay. So we got into this. So yeah. So this is fine. So this returned here stored credentials and expiry date is equal to expiry date. So now the problem here is next time when you come, there won't be this attribute and it will throw an unexpected password data error. So no password, unexpected password. Password expired, and we can have localized string description and no password, return some password stored. And this is for password expired. So this is like user facing strings. So these strings are user facing. The authentication is expired. So we should not be technical. We should be as less technical as possible. there's no password, so this third one is unexpected password data. Is still and the last one is unhandled error. So let status just return the status. Okay, we have covered this. So now, so this is done, this is done, this is password expired. So actually individually I need to get this out and say unexpected password data guard else password expired. So this makes sense. So everything else is 1. This is password expired. We can add something like please relog in. Okay, now we have proper messages. Let's just quit and run. So we need a way to store everything, or else we need to store this. But according to their documentation, so keys and values for internet class let's just see. Following keychain items applied to an item of this class. Okay, do we have generic here? No, we don't have generic. So do we have value data? No, we don't have value data also. So how is we have server? Okay, we can have in one of these creation date or modification date. We can have expiry date here. It's a CF string. Okay, the key is a string. The corresponding value is of type CF date and represents the last item. Represents the last time the item was updated. So it's a read only. So we cannot take that. So it's a read only creation date. Where else can we store comment? Comment is again the value type would be string. So we cannot have it. Label negative account server protocol. Is it because we are storing it in a date format? Not sure, but I'm not finding that. I think it's for the generic one. Generic value, yeah, it's in the generic one, and it's of type CF data. Okay, so we messed up. So we need to find a way. So expiry date, even if someone access it, yeah, even if someone access it, even if it changes, it's for our convenience not to make a token call every time. So even if someone accesses and changes it, so at the max we will end up getting saying the token is expired, or if say it's 1 hour and someone hacks it and makes it 2 hours, so beyond 1 hour if you try to give the same token, it will say okay, this token is expired, you need to log out. Done. So what if someone reduces the time, says if it's 10 hours and someone makes it 1 hour, at the max we will do is we'll re-log in, ask him to re-log in and give the so in any ways it is safe, no one is taking the token from us. So let's do one thing, once this is added successfully, we will store user default standard dot set date. We don't have date, so set expiry date for key token expiry date. So what we will do is we will say static let token expiry date user auth credentials dot token expiry date key, and we need to make user defaults synchronize. Okay, so we are storing the expiry date now, so that's good, that's fine. I'm fine doing this here, so let this comment stay here. So yeah, we got the date stored here, and now we need to access the date here. So user defaults value for key user auth credentials dot token expiry date. So if this gives back the date, then it's fine, otherwise yeah, just okay. And this date has to be compared with the current date, correct? So unexpected password, no password, what else is there? Unexpected password data. Now we have got expiry date is greater than How can it be greater than? It has to be less than current date. No, it has to be greater than current date. So yeah, current date, else throw and saying password expired. So this looks fine. Okay. Okay, we are doing that here. Why don't we create it after this? Or better, sign in creds, return nil. So we'll get off with this. Okay, so now we are good with this. We have 3 throw statements here, 4 throw statements, 2 return statements. Actually, we can just say this is also a password expired thing, right? We don't need this. Expiry date is less than the date, so we are deleting the keychain item, and then we are like, okay, password expired, done. So hopefully next time we will get unexpected password data. So because in the keychain we are in the user defaults we are not storing, there is the authentication data is stale. Okay. It threw right, but we didn't catch it. So where do we catch it? We catch it in view model. So in the view model, so when you get it here, do catch catch block is unreachable, so we will do this. And we can have this here. Can I do this? I have to throw up some error, right? So this is fishy. I can't throw an error from here because I won't be having the completion handler, or will I? Sign in? No, I won't be having the completion handler here. I can. What if I get the completion handler in the init itself? Let's see. For now we will just print the error. Fetching auth data, and we will have error dot localized description. So thing is, where is this error? So this error is here by default. It's error. Otherwise, if you want to name it as E or something, you can do. If you don't specify anything, this is a new thing I learned recently, a month back or so. By default, there is an error here for every catch statement. So you need not name it basically. So we'll be writing test cases after this, so it will be like full-fledged. So, and we have like what, 10 more days to finish the app, 12 more days, 13 more days to finish the app. So that's the target, but I'm not hard on it since we are learning a lot of stuff. I want to learn it the right way. But yeah, the goal is to complete this MVP, minimal viable product, before month end. So I believe once I get this MVVM structure flow through and through, we can actually speed up things for the rest of the API calls. Okay, so yeah, completion handler, if it is there, self.ch false and localized description. Okay, user signed in as false. Okay, so this looks good for now. What if here there is an else statement? So I need to send some keychain error dot no password dot localized description. So this makes sense here. So now thing is, how do I pass the ch here? We are not able to pass the ch here because so this is the problem. So either so we are passing this as an environment object. Okay. Oh, we don't need the okay, first things first, sorry. So in the view model, try, this is a to do, try replacing completion handler with error message. So with this we can have two published variables. One is user signed in and two error message or something like that. So we can set only those two here. So with this, what happens is in the login view we are however storing this environment object, and in content view we are actually using this. So how do I use that here? Showing alert, so it has to be shown. Can I do self dot sign in view model dot is user signed in? Yeah, I can do this. And here I will use the error message. So in here by default unknown error. So what we will do is sign in error message. So with this we can just do this. Okay. Static let default error message is equal to unknown error. Sign in view model dot default error message. There's nothing here, so here actually we have an error message and we don't. We need error dot localized description. Okay, so this is done, so this is done, so here it is true. Sign in view model dot default error message. And this is this one. So there's no completion handler now, so we need not bang on this. This is done, this is taken care of. And in login view we can have sign in error message. So let's just see whether this works. And we don't want this anymore, we don't want this anymore. Wow, this is great. Okay, just threw the password, but I didn't get the error. So there must be something to do. Here. Error in fetching the odd data. Operation could not be completed. Okay. Let's just see. One, two, three. Okay, we are messed up big time. Or we didn't get Did it come here? My first doubt. Yeah, I doubt it has come to even this point. So we know sign in, completion handler failure. So okay, so it has to go into this or this part. Yeah, it came here. Yeah, it came here. Agree. We have it published. So by default, this needs to get triggered. But it's not triggering. The state is changed. User sign in. Is there a dollar here? No. Is this the problem? If I let it here, it's a local variable. So where are we making the mistake? No, we are setting it here, sign in error message, and this sign in error message is published. Now this is being observed by here environment object. All the changes will be observed here, and the sign in VM why? Okay. SwiftUI environment object publish. Change to it published where in environment were not reflected immediately. Yes. In specifics, when I try to change an environment objects published where I find that view is not updated immediately. Exactly thing we are facing. Instead, the change to the variable is only after navigating away from the model and coming back. Okay, he has a observable at publish change view, master view, environment object, and he is sending the environment object to the model. In the model he is observing. Okay, this is where is the user data. Okay, environment object, user data, open model, change view, snot. So when I do this, okay, the view has changed. Okay, this works fine if change view is a state where. Change view is a state where is the change view? User data dot change view, where is the user data? Is a state variable. Okay, It also works fine if state were inside the master view with a binding wire inside the model. Doesn't work with this setup. Okay. Changing final class user data to final class observer 11 does fix issue in 11 beta. SwiftUI does seem not to handle NS object classes. Okay, but we are not using NS object. Very nice and upvoted. I had accepted the answer for beta 5. I think it's moving target, but didn't try removing NS object. Code bugged, and this time around that's a major thing. Now if I could only find a way to update the environment object via control representable. Seem like one of the best. Trying to do this. At least it does not call its internal will set blocks, it seems. NS object subclass implementing. Okay. I'm just giving a try because we are however not using NS object. State, and this state is, I'm not sure. Okay, no, still not there. Okay, I need to understand more about this at published and this thing. So this would be a short stream. That was the plan. Most probably in another 9 or 10 hours of time I'll be back on the stream. Let's see if I can figure this out in the meantime. Okay, cool. Let's going to stop the stream here. Thanks folks.